Karen here. As I mentioned earlier in another video, I'm going to try a nature themed journal using this packaging. I'm not sure where I got it from. I want to say it was Amazon, but I'm not certain. I did have to give it a bit of an iron to flatten it out because it was very creased. But it's just right for what I want now. And this whole lot is a huge piece, and it's all perforated, which is actually making ideal pages. So you can just tear them down here, and then what I've done, I've just folded them in half, which makes them 7.5 by 7.25. Now you could just bind them to make a cover and bind them, or do what I'm going to do, and again this is way out of my comfort zone. I'm going to tear them and make them into single pages and then bind them with a slip knot stitch. Now I've been inspired by Barbara at 49 Dragonflies to do this. She's done a video on making these. So she used paper bags, recycled paper bags, but I'm going to give it a go with these, and I'm going along the nature theme. And then I will, after this, there's a flip through to show you what it looks like. After tearing all those pages up, I found that actually single pages weren't very good. They were quite flimsy. So for the cover, I've used 2 of the pages and actually put some 200-gram card in between. That certainly made it a lot stiffer as a cover. Also, the pages were extremely flimsy, and you're going to have to punch holes down the sides here to do the stitching. So what I've done, I've glued after cutting them all in half, tearing them all in half, I've now glued 2 pages together, and then also used some paper, scrapbook paper that I had that looked like ledger paper, to go down the side and reinforce where I'm going to punch the holes. Hopefully this will work, because I was worried about it tearing on these pages here, because as you can see they're still quite flimsy. Anyway, next is the flip through now, I hope. Thank you. Here I am with the flip through of the nature journal using the slip knot stitch. I've put material over the sewing, joining of the pages, but however I've left this one free so I could just show you what it looks like on the outside. If you can see that, I'm hoping. It does take a bit of work. I will attach that back. It does take quite a bit of work to do it. I'll just quickly go inside. As you can see here, the pages actually lie beautifully flat. What I did, I've done the cover. I was very lucky to be gifted some handmade paper, so I've used that, some lace, and these are nature sayings from Mrs. Cogg's Crafts. And this, I don't know if you can see it a lot clearer, is a watercolour drawing or painting that my good friend over here, Carrie, did for me, and there is a few of them through this book, and hopefully soon I might be having some of them in my shop to go in the journals. I thought they're gorgeous. Anyway, that's the cover, and then inside I've used eco-dyed papers from Tailor Made Journals and Nick the Booksmith. Oops, I need to bring it over, don't I? There's a cluster there that I've made up of scraps. Here, this is from the Digital Collage Shop. This is, I used to do jewellery making, and it's actually an earring where you then put dangles on the ends there. And these are, I can't remember, I think these were probably Artie Mays or Tracy Fox. I've backed everything in coffee dyed paper. This is a journal card I made myself that with some stamping of some mushrooms I've got on a scrap of the eco-dyed paper. And this was from a kit called Mushrooms and Ferns. I cannot remember where I got it, but I will link it all below, as I've used quite a few of them in it. Maybe I should have tried to remember and look it up. This is from Line.Arrow, using her botanical florals. And that's just a pocket that I've made with some coffee dyed paper and lace, the eco dyed papers. This was an idea I got from Barbara at 49 Dragonflies, and I've used some embroidery thread to sew some tulle over the top. This was a freebie paper, can't remember where, oh, no, it might have been from a kit. I'll need to look that one up as well. And I've just stamped some mushrooms on and put a little frog charm on a bolt pin. Again, one of Mrs. Cogg's Nature Sayings, a collage that I've made up using scraps of paper and lace that I've got. The actual main image was from Digital Collage Club, and this actually is where I've cut out for when I made tabs in another journal that I've made. This, I don't know, I don't think you can see, but it's got a shiny shine to it as well. This is greaseproof paper that I used, or baking sheets. When I was dyeing all my papers, I used these to dye the papers on in the oven. And I thought they'd be great, and they make lovely crinkly sounds, as you can see. This is another watercolour painting by my friend. She did it on a whole book page. I actually just tore it down and made it into a little side tuck pocket. And then there's one of those fern journal cards, mushroom journal card, and a field note record card that came from Nick the Booksmith as well. Put them back, and I've just put some scraps of material as a tab. Again, this was from that same kit. I will have to have a look it up. I've just put a little mushroom and a bit of material, and I found a bird cage in my stash. Again, I've sewn on some tulle, as you can see there, a bit of material over the top. Here I've used a window pocket. Ah, that's what it was. I just remembered. That's the other half of the window pocket that I used. Sorry about that. I've just remembered that. So this is a window envelope, and I've got an image that I've made a tag from and backed in paper, and I've used a scrap of the handmade paper as the tab. Whoops. Backed some eco dyed paper inside the window envelope with an image of the fern and some cheesecloth, and I've actually put it on with some washi tape, and underneath is a sepia butterfly from the Digital Collage Club. I don't know if you can see, but here I've used some wire for the antennae as well on the butterfly, and just did a stamp on the back because I thought that was quite nice. There is journaling space, at least I think there is, because you can write on all of this, the tab, the journal cards, the back of the envelope. You can even write down the sides here. So I think there is plenty of journal space. It's totally out of my comfort zone doing something like this. I haven't done anything like this before, but I am trying to attempt to try new things. Another little collage with a nature saying. Again, I've used some of that greaseproof paper. This is a large journal card that I made from one of the fern digitals that I've enlarged. Piece of tea dyed card. And this is an image, a scan. I made some clusters, which I have, here. I made some clusters up, and I've scanned them in. And what I've done is I've used that. I've been playing around with them and getting an idea, and I scanned them in, and I've used that to go on the belly band. I thought that was quite nice. And this is material that I was gifted in a swap, so I've put that onto the page, glued that onto the page. Another saying from Mrs. Cogg's Natures. This is from another fern image from my friend who did some more watercolour images for me, and that's a fern one with, this is some of my own green. I used mixed yellow and blue ink from the ink cartridges and did a sort of a green colour, dyed some papers green colour with a little collage on, using up my scraps of the handmade paper, etc., and a bit of doily. Some material I got from a local shop. Again, you can quite easily put some journaling paper in there. I am thinking of doing that myself. I'll add maybe some more just sheets to clip on. Again, another lovely watercolour paint from my painting from my friend. I've backed it with some handmade paper, and then this, I don't know if it can be seen, probably not, but this is quite shiny, and this is some tea dye papers I've made, and I've splattered them with pearlescent, and it was a antique gold pearlescent colour, and it's come out quite sort of reddish, but it's really lovely, and I don't think the cameras ever do any of this justice. Oh, that's also got a few little charms on, leaf charms on, that I had found in my stash there. And then this is some more eco dye paper, just with a cluster, using where I was cutting out circles. I've just used the back there. And then this is an attempt. I'm not great at drawing, but I've embroidered some. I've got a stencil and went round a stencil, and then onto some plain calico material, and then I've embroidered leaves and a bit of a branch, etc. I'm not sure if it's very clear. Hopefully it is on there. And then we come to the back, and as you can see, I will glue that down there. It just gives this a bit more, the journal, a bit more stability. I found it kind of wobbled around a bit, but with both of these on, it doesn't wobble so much. However, if you want to know how to do that stitch, pop along to 49 Dragonflies. She has a tutorial on using this slip knot stitch. And at the back here, by the way, I just used all the scraps up I had from the eco dye paper and put onto here. I hope you've liked that. Thanks very much. As I say, something completely different for me. And I'll probably be making some more, but it does take time. And the actual stitching probably took me about an hour and a half, 2 hours, because you have to punch holes, as you can see, and get them in the right places. Make sure they're all the right size in and size down from the top, so that your pages are all level. So hopefully, if you watch her tutorial, watch it a few times to get used to how you do the stitch. But it is great fun, and is certainly well worth giving it a go. Thanks very much. Bye.